Hello dear students and welcome to this new lesson in the series of English lessons on the أونروا Satellite TV channel. أهلا وسهلا بكم أعزائي الطلاب في هذا الدرس الجديد من سلسلة دروس اللغة الإنجليزية على قناة الأونروا الفضائية. Welcome back. Our lesson today dear students is Passive Voice Part 2. Passive Voice Part 2. المبني للمجهول الجزء الثاني. Before we start our lesson for the day, let's start revising some of the important points we talked about in Passive Voice Part 1. Here, the general structure of passive voice. Here we have the object plus verb to be plus main verb in the past participle. Again, the object plus verb to be plus main verb in the past participle. Let's look at this example. Look here. The room is cleaned. Again, the room is cleaned. Look here. The room is the subject. Is the verb to be. Cleaned is the past participle of the verb clean. So here we have the room is cleaned, subject, verb to be, and past participle verb. Okay, let's look at verb to be. Today, we are going to focus on 4 helping verbs from verb to be. The first helping verb is the helping verb is. It's used with singular subjects in the present. The second one is are, the helping verb are. It's used with the plural subjects in the present as well. Look here, we have also was and were. Was is used with singular subjects in the past and were with the plural subjects in the past. Okay, here, how to change an active sentence into a passive one. كيف نحول جملة في المبني للمعلوم إلى جملة في المبني للمجهول. Here we have the first step. The object of a sentence becomes the subject of the passive sentence. Again, the object of a sentence becomes the subject of the passive sentence. المفعول به للجملة المبنية للمعلوم يصبح فاعل الجملة المبنية للمجهول. Look here. Example number 1. Ali plays football. Ali is the subject, plays is the verb, football is the object. Look at this word, football, which is the object. Before we look at the passive form of this sentence, let me ask you a question. Is this sentence in the active or the passive voice? هل هذه الجملة في المبني للمعلوم أم في المبني للمجهول? What do you think? Of course, it's in the active voice. Why? Because here the doer is present, which is Ali. الفاعل هنا موجود وهو علي. Ali plays football. Okay, look at the object again, football. To change this sentence into passive, we need to start with the object. So here the object becomes the subject of the passive sentence. Here, football, the subject of the passive sentence. Football is played. Again, football is played. All right, step number 2. We use a helping verb from verb to be, is or are in the present, was or were in the past. Again, we use a helping verb from verb to be to suit the new subject. Here we have is and are in the present, was and were in the past. Step number 3, we use the main verb in the past participle. We use the main verb in the past participle. نستخدم الفعل الرئيسي في التصريف الثالث. Okay, dear students, let's have the first example here. We study English. We study English. Is this sentence active or passive? Thank you very much. It's in the active voice because here we have we study English. Okay, look here. English, the object, becomes the subject of the passive voice. English, is it singular or plural? هل هذا الفاعل فاعل مفرد أم فاعل جمع? Of course, it's singular, English. Let's look at the verb here, study. Study is in the present, so that we need to use a helping verb form to be in the present and singular. We need to use, excellent, we need to use is. English is. What comes after is? Of course, the main verb in the past participle. Let's read the sentence for the last time. English is studied by us. Again, English is studied by us. Let's have example number 2. Ali watched 2 films. Again, Ali watched 2 films. Here, this sentence is in the active voice. Let's change it into the passive one. Look here. 2 films, the object becomes the subject of the passive sentence. 2 films, plural subject. Look at the verb here, watched. It's in the past form. So that we need to use were. 2 films were watched by Ali. Again, 2 films were watched by Ali. Okay, dear students, let's have the short break. Then after the break, we continue our lesson. فاصل قصير ونعود. Welcome back. Dear students, let's start our lesson for today, which is passive voice in the past simple tense. The first part we have is passive voice in the past simple tense. Okay, the structure of the passive voice in the past simple. تركيب المبني للمجهول في زمن الماضي البسيط. Look here, we have the object plus was or were plus main verb in the past participle. Examples. Tom visited Alex. Tom visited Alex. Look here. Alex, the object becomes the subject. Don't forget this. Alex, is it singular or plural? Alex is singular. The verb here is in the past. So that we need to use, excellent, thank you very much. We need to use was. Alex was, the past participle of visited is visited. Here, Alex was visited by Tom. Alex was visited by Tom. Example number 2. Egyptians built the pyramids. Egyptians built the pyramids. Look here, the pyramids, plural subject, were built by the Egyptians. Again, read after me. The pyramids were built by the Egyptians. The pyramids were built by the Egyptians. The next example, the farmer cut the big tree. Again, the farmer cut the big tree. Let's look together. The big tree, here we have, was cut by the farmer. Again, the big tree was cut by the farmer. Let's practice what we have talked about. Change into passive. حول إلى المبني للمجهول. Number 1. We watched 2 action films. We watched 2 action films. لنحول هذه الجملة إلى المبني للمجهول. Here we need to start with, excellent, thank you very much. We need to start with the object of the active sentence. The object is 2 action films were watched by us. 2 action films were watched by us. Let's move to number 2. Here, I drove a new fast car. I drove a new fast car. Let's look together. A new fast car was driven by me. Repeat after me, please. A new fast car was driven by me. Number 3. The engineers designed a new building. The engineers designed a new building. Let's look together. A new building, مبنى جديد, was designed by the engineers. Again, a new building was designed by the engineers. Dear students, let's have another short break. Then after the break, we continue our lesson, Passive Voice Part 2. فاصل قصير ونعود. Welcome back. Now, dear all, let's move to the second part of our lesson, which is passive voice in the present continuous. Let's look at the general structure of the passive voice in the present continuous tense. Look here, we have the object plus is or are plus being plus main verb in the past participle. Again, the object plus is or are plus being plus main verb in the past participle. Let's have some examples. Example number 1. Ali is playing football and tennis. Ali is playing football and tennis. Let's look here. Football and tennis. Football and tennis. Is this subject singular or plural? هل هذا الفاعل الجديد هو فاعل مفرد أم فاعل جمع؟ We have football and tennis. Of course, it's plural. Let's look at the verb. Is playing. What tense is this verb? Excellent, thank you very much. It's in the present continuous. Let's look here at the structure of the passive form. Football and tennis are being played. Football and tennis are being played. Okay. Example number 2. He is eating a sandwich. He is eating a sandwich. Let's look together. A sandwich is being eaten. A sandwich is being eaten. The next one. We are watching many lessons. We are watching many lessons. Look here. Many lessons are being watched. Many lessons are being watched. So here we use is or are according to the subject. After that we use being. Then we use the past participle of the main verb. Let's practice what we have talked about. Here in this exercise, change into passive. حول إلى المبني للمجهول. Number 1. My teacher is explaining a lesson. Again, my teacher is explaining a lesson. Let's change this sentence from active to passive. Here in the passive form, a lesson is being explained. Again, please. A lesson is being explained. Let's move to number 2. Tom is speaking English and Arabic. Again, Tom is speaking English and Arabic. In the passive form, English and Arabic, الإنجليزية والعربية, English and Arabic are being spoken. Are being spoken. Spoken is the past participle of the verb speak. Speak, spoke, spoken. Number 3. I am preparing for my birthday party. I am preparing for my birthday party. In the past form, my birthday party is being prepared for. Again, please. My birthday party is being prepared for. Okay, dear all, let's have another short break. Then after the break, we continue our lesson, passive voice part 2. فاصل قصير ونعود. Welcome back. Now, dear students, it's time to move to our third part in this lesson, which is passive voice in the past continuous. Passive voice in the past continuous. Let's look at the structure of the passive voice in the past continuous tense. Here, we have the object plus was or were plus being plus main verb in the past participle. Again, the object plus was or were plus being plus the main verb in the past participle. Okay, let's have some examples. Linda was watching cartoon films. Linda was watching cartoon films. Dear all, notice this verb, was watching. What tense is it? Was watching. Excellent, thank you very much. It's in the past continuous. Now, let's change the sentence into passive. Cartoon films here were being watched by Linda. Again, cartoon films were being watched by Linda. Again, please. Cartoon films, the plural subject, were being watched by Linda. The second one. We were collecting rubbish from the garden. We were collecting rubbish from the garden. In the passive form, rubbish was being collected from the garden. Again, rubbish was being collected from the garden. The last one. I was washing my father's car. I was washing my father's car. In the passive form, my father's car was being washed. Again, my father's car was being washed. Now, dear all, let's have some practice. In this exercise, change into passive. حول إلى المبني للمجهول. Number 1. She was making a cup of tea. She was making a cup of tea. Here, a cup of tea was being made. A cup of tea was being made. Again, a cup of tea was being made. Number 2, we were visiting Ali and Omar. Again, we were visiting Ali and Omar. Ali and Omar were being visited by us. Again, Ali and Omar were being visited by us. Repeat after me, please. Ali and Omar were being visited by us. Let's move to number 3. I was talking to Ali when Omar came. I was talking to Ali when Omar came. Here, Ali was being talked to when Omar came. Repeat after me, please. Ali was being talked to when Omar came. The last time, Ali was being talked to when Omar came. Okay, dear students, let's have this exercise. Correct the underlined verbs. صحح الأفعال التي تحتها خط. Number 1, we was being called by our friend. We was being called by our friend. What do you notice, dear students, here? Look at the underlined verb was. Here, the subject is we. We is a plural subject. We cannot use was with the plural subjects. So what do you think? Excellent, thank you very much. Here, we replace was with were. Here we say, we were being called by our friend. Number 2, the classroom was clean by us. The classroom was clean by us. This sentence is in the passive form, but is it correct? Let's read it again. The classroom was clean by us. Here the classroom is a singular subject. Because it's singular, it's followed by was. What comes after the helping verbs was, were, is, are, and am? What comes after them is the past participle, so that the verb clean should be cleaned. So the sentence should be, the classroom was cleaned by us. Number 3, the word is be polluted by us. Again, the word is be polluted by us. Here, the word is being polluted by us. Instead of is being polluted by us. The last one, these cars are made last year. Again, these cars are made last year. Here we have last year, العام المنصرم. And there we have are. So, are should be replaced with were made. Instead of are made, were made. Let's read it again. These cars were made last year. Dear all, by the end of this exercise, we have come to the end of our lesson. I hope the lesson was interesting and beneficial for you at the same time. Until I see you next time, have a good day and goodbye.